Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast, NFL edition. Sean Higgs, Kevin Thomas coming at you here. We'll be taking care of the North. We might have some insight onto the Green Bay Packers. Who knows? We'll see where the show takes us today. But before we get to that, you're here. Like button, notification bell, so you know each and every day. MLB free picks, NFL free picks, college football free picks. We got you covered. We have a daily, not daily, but dug up some with his MLB hit pieces there, NFL, college football, little articles, Matt Fargo, again, articles from him. Also, gamblersworld.net, the sponsor, that's where you want to be here. Again, free picks, write-up articles, and, of course, our top premium action. So, NFL, we're going to be talking about the entire season right now is up. A $5.49 early bird comes out to us $25 a week. Go get that. Make that smart money move and get yourself some money. All right, we're going to jump into it. Again, comment section's open here on the YouTube channel. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell on. Let us know. Lions, Tigers, Bears, oh my. Actually, no Tigers, but we got Lions, Bears, Packers, and Vikings. Here we go. You know what? I was going to start with the odds-on favorite here, Kev. But, you got the Packer gear on. Plus 220, your Packers. I'm guessing they're your Packers. I mean, there's a little person. There's got a little stuffed animal Packer back there on the shelf. What is going on here? So 220 to win here. Tell me what you think. They're favorites in 13 games this year, going over the schedule. Win totals, say that 9.5. A little juicy there at 120 over, but not terribly. They open the season versus the reigning champions there, the Detroit Lions. I look at the schedule. They have 10 games, 7 at -1.5, 3 more at +1.5. You're at Dallas, at Arizona, at Pittsburgh, the Bears, Minnesota, those -1.5s. You have Philly, at Denver, home versus Baltimore. You're +1.5 games. How you feeling with this team? I already bet them in week one, -1. And actually, I took the money line -125, and I bet them in week two. No money line up, but I laid the 1.5 versus Washington because I think they're going to beat Detroit in week one, and that Washington line is going to it'll be 3 because I think the Giants upset the Redskins in week one. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. What do you think about your Packers? What do you think? I mean, go ahead. You're the Packers.
I like the draft pick. I like the wide receiver that they're going to have. I think he's a bona fide stud in Golden, but I hate the week 5 bye. I'm not a fan of that. I wish it had been later in the season. I'm not sure. I mean, honestly, Matt LaFleur hasn't impressed me. Jordan Love, I wasn't high on him. I was high on getting rid of Aaron Rodgers, but to jump up to get Jordan Love if you jumped up one more spot, Justin Jefferson's right there, or you get T. Higgins for Aaron Rodgers. I didn't understand the move. Everyone's happy with it. Everyone thinks it's a great move.
I listen. Jordan Love's been he's been a winner, right? He's been fine. But the fact they draft a wide receiver for him, but like you said, prime, the window's kind of closing a little bit. There's a little dirt on the screen. Justin Jefferson would have been all right with Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? You're right.
I don't like the total set. I think they split every game in conference, even with the Bears. The Bears,
really?
Everyone's sleeping on this Bears team, but I think they made the best moves out of all these teams with that offensive line. But to get back to the Packers, you already had a stacked wideout room. I mean, I get Golden was the best one. You took him, but then you took like 2 more wide receivers. I didn't understand that. You're filled. You still got Christian Watson, which we don't know what we're going to get from him. You got solid tight ends.
And that's why Christian Watson hurt all the time.
Jordan Love in the red zone, though. I mean, he had like 6 picks last year. Most of them were in the red zone. He killed me every time. Hopefully he's over that 4-year slump or whatever. I just don't like the win total. I think the NFC, the North, probably will be won by whoever gets 10 wins. I think they're just going to be that good. I think it's going to be one of the funnest conferences to watch. You don't have like a team that's like the Saints or the Giants that are projected to be so low, because the Bears, I mean, I think they made all the right moves, and I don't think the Packers My big thing with the Packers is defense, stopping the run. If you can't do that, you're not going to win games, especially playing at the frozen tundra. I know this league wants to go pass happy, and everyone thought Matt LaFleur was this offensive genius, but I mean, he was the offensive coordinator for the Titans before we took him. They just ran the hell out of the ball. Jet sweeps.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry. Nothing against Jacobs. He was a powerhouse towards the end of the season. I just see the Packers at 9.5 looks like a perfect number for them. I could see them going 9-8.
So again, favorite in 13. You think they go 9-8, and you think that it's going to be bunched up. So Lions plus 160, Packers 220, Vikings 290, Bears $6. We'll get to the Bears second. Let's go to the top dogs here, or the top cats with the Detroit Lions. Plus 160 short. Their win total is 11.5. Favorite in 12 games. I think this is a tough schedule for them. As I said, I've already taken Green Bay because I think it's tough going on the road. And last year, the Lions were set up for success. What a great schedule. And they let it get away. Now people say, well, it's coordinators, doesn't make a difference. I don't know, man. I think you lose coordinators, it affects the team a little bit. And I look at this schedule. You got at Green Bay, at Baltimore, at Kansas City. Both of those you'll be catching 3 points. You're at Cincinnati as a 1.5-point favorite. You're at the Rams, again, a 1-point favorite, which I thought was odd. I thought, why are the Rams a dog there? And I think that's going to get a little bigger now because it just came across Stafford's getting shots in his back and stuff like that. We'll see how that plays that season. I like the Rams to be a little less than expected anyway because you got a 40-year-old quarterback anyway. You're at Denver, and that's a Week 18. Who knows how that'll be? Excuse me. No, nope. I said Denver. I meant the Bears. I can't read my handwriting. Look like a D. It's a B. A Week 18 spot there. Anything goes. If you think these teams are going to be a little closer, especially with the Bears, they got some tough ones. At Washington, at Philly as well. I don't like them to win a division. Last year, you were set for success. Nice home games. Warm outdoor stadiums. Cincy, Baltimore, Kansas City, Philly, Washington. That is not Goff, nice weather games. I mean, you catch them in October, some of these games, but you're going to Philly and Washington in November. That's not easy. That's not fun. I don't know. I'm more of a under guy with the Lions. I don't like them to win division. I like the Packers to win a division, but again, you as a homer, you can't. You got to think negative. As a fan, you have to always think the worst. And when they get good, you're like, I can't jinx them, right? That's the way a fan thinks of his team. So I understand your take on Green Bay. I do. But what about your arch rivals here? Or not arch, that'd be more of Chicago, but a rival Detroit team who's been good the last couple of years and give you some trouble.
Well, you touched on the coordinator not making a difference, but the fact that the coordinator that everyone wanted, the Lions quarter, Ben Johnson, went to the Bears. That the Lions should have blocked that however they could have. Sent him to the Saints, traded him to the Saints instead of letting him go to the Bears. I know Campbell, he wants all his guys to be head coaches. I get it. But now they're bringing in John Morton from the Denver Broncos. He was with the Lions back in 2022, if you remember. They went 9-8 with him there. Ben Johnson knows Jared Goff. That's why I think they'll split those games. Jared Goff, Ben Johnson made him look like a top 5-tier quarterback. We all know Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback the Lions ever had. Jared Goff is just smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. Statue of Liberty back there. You can say the same thing about Stafford, but Stafford had one of the best arms I ever seen live.
That's Catford. That guy just put up numbers.
Yeah. So Jared Goff, I think the book's out on him, and Amon St. Brown. So I'm looking at props in this game, and what I'm looking at is Jameson Williams. If this guy can stay out of jail and healthy, they have him at 850 receiving yards. I found it for 900 at minus 115. I'm looking for 1,000 yards for this guy because we could probably get plus money. People are sleeping on him out of Alabama. He is electric, big, fast. And when he killed me in fantasy last year. But the thing is, he has his issues, so gets kind of full of himself. But I do like that tandem. They do have a great tight end. The defense should be 100% healthy. We know at the end of the season, Hutchinson and all those guys started dropping like flies. They were no match after that. So it's going to come up to Campbell. We know he's not an offensive defensive coordinator. He's like the Sirianni of the Eagles. He's a coach guy. He coaches up his players and lets the coordinators do everything. That's why I think this coordinator is going to be very important. And like I said, Ben Johnson's going to have the book on these players. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago took both games against the Lions. But the Lions could still win it. I agree, I think. I know you said you like the Packers here, but I'm going to take the under. What'd you say it's at, 11.5? I don't think.
Yeah, 11.5. I'm with you on that. I like the under in this one. I do. I look at this schedule, and it is not easy. It is not easy. I mean, just who you got on your off schedule: Washington, Philly, Cincy, Baltimore, KC. Are you kidding me? And then a Rams team, which you don't know if the quarterback plays, it's a game, right? You got versus the old squad, stuff like that. That is, there's no real gimme layups in this one.
Oh, and the Rams got my boy Devontae Adams. I'd never say a bad word about him. That's gonna be a great offense with that Williams and those two and that other running back they got. Jeez.
Well, it's if you got a quarterback problem.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
you need a QB. You need a QB to help you out a little bit. Listen, Devontae over Cup is a no-brainer for me at this point. But and I like McVay. I do. We'll be talking about the West next week. But you brought up the bye weeks for Green Bay was in week 5. Detroit's in 8, and Minnesota and Chicago also with early byes, week 6 and week 5 for these two teams too. So the North got a little short end of the stick there. Maybe they want to play it into it helps you guys out in the later months when you have teams coming in playing in the colds, or not as much for Detroit, but Chicago and Green Bay helps you out there. But yeah, early ones for sure. Next up here, I'm going to go to Vikings. We'll save the Bears for last because this Minnesota team, I do not know. I know McCarthy, and I love the coach here. I think this is the best coach here. And who knows about the Bears guy? Let's see how that plans out here. But I like this coach. He seems to always just win and get it done, whether offensively, defensively. Darnold got it done last year. 14-3 is a little bit of a stretch. He's a rookie for all I'm concerned. He didn't play last year. 7 games as favored. And again, I like to look at the 1.5 kind of lines. 4 of them at plus, 3 of them at minus. The only other games here higher than a 3.5 point spread they're playing Cleveland, are 6.5 point favorites, and at Detroit they're listed right now as a 4-point dog. Otherwise, they're all at 3s. So you're talking 3. You got 7 at the 1 range, and then you got another 8 games at a 3. This is talk about 9 and 8 coin flip kind of team. I think this is it. I think. And if you're a Viking fan, you're thinking, hey, we could catch these and win. If you're against them, you can't catch all those games. This would be an under for me here. They're at 8.5, and it's juiced to the over 160. 8.5. They're only favored in 7 games. Okay, say you hit everyone that you're a dog in. You're not going to lose any other close game here. I don't see it. I can't. 8.5 to me is too high. I'd look at an under for Minnesota here for the season.
Yes, I have to disagree with you, Sean. This would be my sneaky team to win the North. One, because you don't know what you're going to get with J.J. McCarthy, right? He got hurt preseason last year. His backup, Sam Howell, we know kind of the same resume. They're going to run the ball if they have to, not tall guys, and can throw it far if they have to. And they can throw it into double coverage. Jefferson makes guys look good. You got Kevin O'Connell, who was a quarterback, who resurrected Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins got paid because of O'Connell. I mean, Kirk Cousins was a 15th best quarterback, in my opinion, by far. Then he takes Sam Darnold and resurrects him. I mean, we didn't even know Jets were Denver. What happened to Darnold? And then he brings him back. It's the offense he runs, and he's got the best wide receivers. I know what's his name's going to be suspended for the first 3 games. That's going to be tough. But you got Aaron Jones back there. You got Hawkinson.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, Jordan Addison's out with the 3 games. And I don't know. I think they might start slow, but what'd you say? The total's at 8.5 wins? Man,
Yeah.
I'm going to smash that over. I think they could end up with the 10 wins. And when they're at home, they're tough at home. They can split with the Lions. They can split with my Packers. They could take 2 from the Bears, and then they can win at least 6 more. So,
Well, listen, folks, you're watching our little NFC North preview. Sean Higgs, Kevin Thomas for Gamblers World. And this is why you tune in, because sometimes you watch a preview show or even the 3-pick shows that we're all in. We agree with each other in this end. Right off the bat here, we are opposite on our thoughts on some of these teams, on how we view them. And some of you might not like that because you just want a consensus so you can just run and bet something. Take the both sides view. Really, people want, they all like it, let's bet. It's better to be you don't want that echo. You don't want to be called an echo chamber where everybody's loving a team, because we're going to talk about a team everybody loves in a second.
I know we only saw one preseason game. I mean, injuries happen. I get it, all that stuff. So yeah, I don't. People get too overworked early. Things happen before the first game starts. These are all predictions we're making prior. So
again, hit the like button here. Comment. Let's go. Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings. Who you like? What do you think? You're tuned in. You're a fan. Load it up in the comment section. If it takes multiple comments, that's fine. I like to come in after, especially the previews. I like to come in and see what people put in and see what they have to say. Sam Howell, and then we'll move on to the Bears here. This guy was supposed to be the number 1 draft pick a couple years ago. He was the top dog coming out. He was going into this college season. He was supposed to be the number 1 quarterback.
Like Sam Darnold.
When he played for North Carolina the year before, they're like, look at this guy. He's going to be the number 1 pick. He gets drafted. He sits. The coach is fired, and he's in no man's land. He's in Seattle. This is his 3rd team. The guy 3 years ago was the top consensus number 1 quarterback in college football. 3 teams in 4 years, whatever the hell he's on. It's crazy. You've heard me, Kev, you've been here. We've done football before. Anybody watch the show know I go on these quarterback rants for these young guys. It's just totally unfair. Darnold last year, he put up okay numbers with the Jets, and that's a crappy Jet team. He put up, 25, 26 touchdowns on a terrible Carolina team. Imagine if he had players around him. Well, you saw what happened when he had players in a coach around him. The guy went 14-3. These young guys, some of them don't get a chance. You don't know. They could be the next Tom Brady, Joe Montana. You don't know who you have because they're not against. Mac Jones is back to San Francisco, where everybody thought he was going to go 5 years ago, but they took Trey Lance, and yet he's a castaway because they put a special teams punter coach as the offensive coordinator. But it's Mac Jones' fault because he can't develop. Enough about my rant.
I want to make one more point about this game, though. O'Connell could have had Aaron Rodgers wanted to play for the Vikings. That was the big holdout, the Steelers. He wanted to play with the Vikings, and they opted to pass on him for McCarthy. So that tells you a lot right there about what they think about McCarthy and his skill set. So,
why wouldn't you? Come on. You went down that road with the Brett Favre. It was like Brett Favre from Green Bay to the Jets to Minnesota. You're going to go down that path again?
He was awesome though. I'm a huge Favre fan. He got cheap shot in the head by the Saints, or they would have won. They would have been a Super Bowl and won it. They were phenomenal. He got crushed.
Yeah, but I don't think Rodgers is at the same point in his career. I think he's a little more banged up. I think there's a lot more going on under the hood than they care to go. And he's probably like, you know what? I got these 2 young guys. I'll take my shot on them, and he's got the goodwill of what's the GM going to say? I want the big name guy.
Well, you can coach up younger. You could coach up younger guys more than you can coach up Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and then what? You get Aaron Rodgers, and I don't like a receiver. I want to bring in my guy. Like his guy's got to start coming in, right? Get out of here with that nonsense. We're talking NFL, NFC North. Be sure to get on board right now. Early bird package up at gamblersworld.net. Just $5.49, less than $25 a week for all picks through the Super Bowl. Can't beat that deal. Go get it. Make that smart money move, folks. Final team here, and we're going to be opposite on this talk because we're talking about the Bears earlier here in the Green Bay discussion. And the Bears plus $6. Now, see, I would think this is where Kev's going to go with his, if he's going to take a long shot in the division, because he's kind of high on the Bears. He loves the Lions coordinator taking over here. 6-1. The win total 8.5. Juice to the under 150. And I bet this under. And last year I was anti-Bear. I went on a with Gabe Moranci. I said on his show, I said, Bears win 5 games. It was my most viral. They put it out, and I was just attacked by about 50 Bears fans putting clown noses on my ex-Twitter account. Like, this guy, he's clickbait. It played out exactly how I thought. And I said they should have kept Justin Fields. I was mocked. You can't. You flip a quarterback, and you just did. You got rid of Fields. You blamed him. You know, it was the coach. The coach was terrible. You saw he was with Caleb Williams. Terrible. Now you get a quarterback whisperer. Perhaps. My thing with this team, I do not like Caleb Williams. You saw him when he was playing in the Pac-12, when he had to play a Pac-12, and this is old Pac-12. Remember, it's not the Pac-2 when he played there. He played against your regular teams back in the day, and he did not look good. He was not lighting up, 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 480 yards a game. He was throwing interceptions. And I want to be an owner of the team. If you're going to draft me, I'm going to go cry to my mom because the backup quarterback came in a bowl game with those 7 touchdowns. Bro, that doesn't fly. I saw him stomping his feet the other day in preseason. Like, really, fella? You're supposed to be a face of the franchise? And I don't like him. I don't think he's in. And I say I don't like him. I think he's not going to take them to where they are, because let's be honest, you're in year 2 of him. If Ben Johnson doesn't get anything out of him, or they improve to a 500 type squad, then what? Then he gets, well, he's not my guy. Then those little punches are going to start coming from all sides here, right? Like, we gave him talent. It takes a year. Well, now he's in year 4, right? Would that be year 4 next year for him and the Bears? Year 4?
3.
I guess that'll be a telltale year. We're getting ahead of ourselves there, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to develop. We'll see. We'll see how good Ben Johnson is. Maybe he just got into good quarterbacks. Maybe it'll take him a couple of years. Are the Bears fans and ownership going to wait for this guy to develop? I look at this schedule. They are favored in 7 games. I think this is kind of like the Patriot hype on the team. Like, everybody's just hyped up. New coach, quarterback was pretty good. A lot of hype on him. 4 games. Monday night, 1.5 at Mini, a 1.5 at Vegas. They're a 1.5-point dog to Detroit at the end of the season. I look at their schedule, Kev. Where are these 8 wins coming from? I think they lose Monday night. Because then here's the thing: they're going to start 1-1. No matter how they look on Monday, they either win, maybe lose. The next week, it's a short week at the Lions. Chalk me up with a loss there. I don't care, win or lose. You're coming off Monday night, and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Maybe they cover, right? Because you look bad Monday. The line's going to move from 4.5 on Detroit. It's going to go to 6. The sky's falling in Chicago. Home versus Dallas. It's September. This isn't December, and it'd be cold. Dak is not a bad quarterback. I don't think that's what maybe. Should you win in Vegas? Vegas would be bad. I don't know. I got a Hall of Fame coach on the other side of the ball. He's on the other side of the field. You got Geno Smith, who's a pro, right? He's not going to give you anything. At Washington, I know Jaden Daniels could be the sophomore slump, but where's the win there? They could easily be 0-4 here coming. It's a bye week game. You think they'd be pumped up for that, but it's a road game. They're not even doing them a favor giving them a home game for a nice bump. I think they beat the Saints at home. You should. At Baltimore, at Cincinnati in back-to-back weeks. Home versus the Giants. Okay, maybe 2 wins. Your Minnesota Vikings, that's a loss. Home versus Pitt. At Philly, at Green Bay. Home versus Cleveland. Home versus Green Bay. At Frisco. And then closing out on Detroit the last game here. Maybe you get Detroit because Detroit's out of it or resting guys. Where are 8 wins on this? Is this going to be, like you said, you think the winner here wins 10, so you're thinking split out everywhere. I look at that and see maybe 5 wins. I see maybe 1 in the first 4. New Orleans would be 2. Maybe you beat the Giants at home. I don't know if you get that done there. Maybe you do. Maybe the Giants surprise. Cleveland at home. That's four. You're going to get 4 out of the division? I don't see it. This is an under team for me. I know I went a little more in depth on their schedule, but it's just them and the Patriots. When we did the Patriots, I was in depth on them because everyone's high on these 2 quarterbacks and the coaches. So you're high on them. Let's go. Your time to shine.
When I hear that name, Matt Eberflus, I think of that movie, The Grinch, with Jim Carrey. Like he's a Whoville character with that name. Horrible.
He's terrible.
Horrible coach. Ben Johnson picked the Chicago Bears. They didn't pick him. He wanted to work with Caleb Williams for a reason. Caleb Williams, when he was in Oklahoma, was phenomenal. He goes out to USC with no offensive line and still put up huge numbers, lots of interceptions. But, man, the guy was running for his life. He has the talent. He has an arm. Let's see what Ben Johnson can do. And the first thing Ben Johnson did, Joe Thuney, huge offensive line upgrade, then signed 3 more offensive line upgrades. So now you got Swift, I think, who had 1,000 yards, running behind a big offensive line. Eberflus, that's all he kept trying to do was run the ball into a brick wall, and then Caleb Williams would pass on 3rd down all the time. Everyone knew what was happening. That's not going to happen. I mean, they go after tight end Colston Loveland with the 10th pick. You saw what he did with Laporta. Now you're going to have Loveland and Cormette on both sides. Both these guys are phenomenal catchers, especially in the end zone. DJ Moore running crazy. My big question is who's going to be that second wide receiver that steps up and puts up the big numbers, because I think they parted ways with a couple and they brought in Zachary's or whatever his name is from the Falcons. So we'll see what happens there. But the defense was already good. They were just gassed every game, keeping it. I mean, they covered against the Lions. I think both times I had them winning and they covered. Their defense didn't really change. They were solid. They upgraded on offense, brought in an offensive-minded quarterback or coordinator or coach, and I like it. I think the overs are there. I'm worried for my Packers. I don't know if the Packers made enough moves. The Packers' needs were on defense, and they focused so much on offense. I don't know if there was tons of rules put in where you can't touch players or tackle them anymore. You just call their name and they fall down. I don't know what happened, but like I said, the Bears, in my opinion, made the best moves in the NFC North when they in free agency and their draft picks this year. That Colston kid, he's gonna kill us. He's a big guy and he's got hands. He's gonna kill us. We got no one that can defend him with the Packers. I mean, hell, we let Zaire go. We lost Stokes. I mean, who do we got covering someone like that? Our tallest guy's like 6'9", I think, 6'10". So we'll see what happens. I do like the Bears to cover that. I think the Bears go over that.
8 and Bears over 8. I look at the schedule. I'm like, oh boy. I mean, you're going to get a couple splits. I look at it.
How many of those are at home though in the wintertime? Those big ones, the big games against non-division guys. I didn't really look at their schedule. I just knew a lot of them had the Browns.
What do you think? We'll pull in November, right? Second week of November, home versus the Giants, home versus the Steelers, home versus Cleveland, home versus Green Bay. And then home versus Detroit at the end of the year.
There's 4-0 right there. 4 of those 5 could be wins for them outright.
See, I got them losing the first 2.
Well, my thing is if they go 0-4 or 0-5, then what happens? Because if the Lions and Packers are 5-0, then what? Then are they starting to think about next season? That's what I hate about predictions. You never know what's going to happen. But first-year coach, he wants to win. He's got something to prove. You know, everybody wanted him. If he starts off real bad, it's not going to look good for him.
You're home versus Minnesota with a rookie quarterback. And I call him a rookie quarterback. I know he's not. He's a rookie. He hasn't thrown a pass in an NFL regular season game. He's a rookie for all intents and purposes in my eyes, in my brain. You win that. Say you lose at Detroit. You're home versus Dallas, which is – hey, you know, if you're the real deal, you should beat Dallas. I'm not high on Dallas. I think the offensive line got problems. They don't have a running game, and they're still the Cowboys. And who's their coach? I mean, come on. I don't love their coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. We don't have the edge of coaching in that game. And then you're at Vegas, who you really should probably beat. I mean, you're an 8-win team or 9-win team, right, with your win total here. And Vegas is rebuilding. You got a stopgap quarterback and a 70-year-old coach trying to just change the culture for a little bit. But that's a team that didn't go. They could have drafted Sanders. They need a quarterback in the future. They didn't draft anybody. So where is their mindset? So you could be 3-1 going into your bye week. Again, your bye week is the end of September, which is I mean, I know they can't put everybody in November or something, but that's just a terrible spot. So what are you, 3-1? You're feeling good. 2-2, you're like, all right, hey, we're 2-2. You know, you're 1-3. We're working on some things. We're coming out of the break. We'll be all right after the bye week. That's what's fun about Doodle and Preview. You go through this schedule. I feel like it's like, 1992, Mike and the Mad Dog. Win, loss. That's a loss, dog. It's like you go through. But it's fun. It's what we do. Listen, we are a little different on our thoughts on the games, which is fine because this is a August preview of the game and of the season. That doesn't mean when the regular season starts that Kev's going to take the Bears in every single game and lay point spreads, or I'm going to bet against them. No. We'll see how it goes. There's different games. It's just this is how we kind of look going in. I know me though, and again, I got 2 futures with wins. I took the Bears under and Miami under. Those 2 teams, will I be looking more to fade them in spots? Absolutely. Am I blindly going to go against them in 17 games? No, right? I mean, you have a thought on a team, and especially if you like a team, you don't just blindly bet them, whether it's MLB or NFL or what any sport. You got to take it for each week and how the season progresses, right?
Well, like you're trying to take advantage of teams you think are weaker that people find stronger. I feel like a lot of people look at the Bears season last year, are going to find them a weaker team and start saying win-win to the other way. That's when we jump on those points with the Bears. And I think they can win those outright, but all I care about is covering. Honestly, I'm a Packers fan. I could care if they win or lose when I'm betting. When I bet against them, I'm rooting against them. That's how it is for me. It's about making money first. I am a Packers fan, long time. That's it. So I try not to bet them a lot just because I don't want to root against them, but I'll bet against them all the time. So when I'm saying the Bears are going to, cover a lot of spreads, you take it from someone who hates the Bears more than anybody. I mean, I hate the Bears. I hate the Bears more than the Vikings and the Lions. I hate the Bears.
Yeah, well, that is your rival would be Green Bay and the Bears, right? I mean, that is the top dog for your rivalry there in the North for sure. I
had to wear a jersey what was the linebacker that causes all the problems out in Vegas back in the day?
Urlacher?
When they beat the Packers, I had to wear an Urlacher jersey all day. It was horrible. It was the worst feeling in my life. But at the end, I had my wife set up a video camera, and I took that. And I took a big shit, and I wiped my ass with that jersey. And the guy who owned the jersey said, "Throw it away, you asshole, throw it away." And listen,
that was
the worst feeling in my life wearing that jersey. I felt so dirty. I showered.
I can be a little wacko. That's really taken to another level there, Kev. Interesting. Good to know. Don't get on Kev's bad side. He's going to come to your house with it'll be like Billy Madison who'll be setting bags of poop on fire. Oh man, Johnson hates poop. That Bears fan. All right, NFC North has been covered. Be sure to check the archive videos here. We've covered all the AFCs, NFCs. Enjoy the previews. Be sure to put your thought in the comments section here about your team, what you think about your squad this year, whether they're going to win the division, more wins, less wins. You like the over, you like the under, however you want to play it out. Maybe you got them bet already in week 1. Who knows what you're doing out there? Again, gamblersworld.net, folks. This is our previews. When it's time to put the old proverbial rubber meets the road and money where your mouth is, you'll get all of our best bets in the NFL at gamblersworld.net, and the early bird NFL is up right now for just $5.49. But that's a wrap up here, Kev. Good to see you. Good luck to your Packers this year. As again, that's for you as just a team. You'll be excited if they have a great year. Me, I got no love for the NFC North. I could care less. I just, like you, it's all about the green. We're going to find a spot to make our money in. But thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow or the next day or whenever you're watching. There'll always be another video at Winner Circle YouTube channel. So tune in, notification bell on. Good to see you. Bye-bye.